What's up, guys? Today we're going to take a look at the Fall Summit Concepts SPR-ish rifle setup. So we've posted this rifle a lot over the last year, maybe 2 years. This is actually a completely stock rifle that got picked up on a Blemula sale from Geissele 4th of July a couple years ago. And it sat around for a little bit until we got everything acquired to build it out in the setup that we wanted. And it's essentially still the stock rifle. The only thing that has been added as far as function wise is the Law Tactical folder here, and we'll go over that in a second. But I'm gonna do a full breakdown from stock to suppressor and let you guys know what this is built out with, what parts. So appreciate y'all for watching. So starting at the back here, obviously we have the B5 Systems Precision Collapsible Stock. Again, it is a Geissele stock rifle, so it has the Geissele buffer tube and the Super 42 spring and system here. So obviously with the Law Tactical folder there, it allows you to collapse the buffer tube to the side of the rifle and then have a smaller footprint, putting this in bags or taking apart the receivers and just reducing that footprint if you need to store it or transport it in a smaller configuration. Now, Law Tactical does make a bolt carrier group that allows you to fire from this position. This one does not have it, so no firing in the folded position there. Moving forward from the Law Tactical folder, down below we've got the B5 grip. This comes with the Geissele grip, so we did add the B5 grip on here. Similar angle, the texture is a little more aggressive on this guy. One note, the stock that comes on the Super Duty Mod1 is actually the B5 SOP mod stock, so we did go ahead and swap that out for the B5 Precision collapsible stock there. Because the way this gun was going to be set up, kind of an SPR-ish roll, we wanted to have the stock that we could, adjust the cheek well, adjust the shoulder out a little bit if we needed a longer length of pull, and just really kind of tailor it versus just having the SOP mod on there. All right, so forward of that, obviously again, Geissele stock rifle. So the Super Duty Mod1 comes with the SSA EX trigger. Obviously their Ultra Duty lower parts kit, all the things, the charging handle, the Geissele airborne charging handle they're putting on those, maritime bolt catch, obviously ambi safety selector. Now I don't run an ambi safety selector on some setups, especially assaulter, like CQB style setups, just because that ambi I have no use for it and I don't want it flipping off when it's against my kit or anything. But on these SPR-ish type rifles, I have left the ambi on there and I haven't had an issue with it yet. For the magazine, we're running Lancer 20 round magazines. They also make, Lancer also makes a +6 edition, so you can actually get a 26 round magazine there. Up top, so you guys know, big fan of the zero gravity Summit mount. So this is a 35mm zero gravity Summit mount, and then up top we've got their Sherpa top ring accessory. So they make this in a few different footprints for the aim point. They've got it for the RMR, RMR HD, the RCR, and Delta Point Pro, maybe some other ones, but they're definitely looking to expand that lineup with other top ring accessories as well. Also up top, obviously we have the Leupold Mark V 3.6 to 18. This is the Tremor 3 reticle. I like the Mark V 3.6 to 18. The Tremor 3 is pretty sweet. It is a little busy for those of you that want a cleaner picture. And someone said it best, like looking at the Tremor 3 reticle can be looking like you're watching something through a screen door if you need to see more of the field of view in there. But good reticle, lots of information. If you need to dumb it down a little bit and have less information on the reticle, you can obviously drop down to like their PR2 reticle would clean up that a little bit, and they have other reticle options as well. Now the only thing I would change that would make this a little bit better is if I had an illuminated reticle on this setup. That would be pretty sweet. Maybe something to look at in the future, swapping out this optic on here. On the Mark V, we've got the Flatline Ops bone spur. So with the Leopold scopes, obviously you get the throw lever extension, just their little cylinder shaped one. The bone spur, quite the upgrade, gives you a larger surface area, and it's got some good knurling on there to be able to throw the magnification ring a little bit easier. Also from Flatline Ops, their Halo X level. So being that this is an SPR-ish setup, wanted to obviously have a level of some sort on here. This Halo X lives on the gun. I posted this a while ago, and there was an electronic MDT level on here as well, and people are like, why do you have 2 levels on the gun? Well, the Halo X lives on the gun, but if I'm gonna shoot a gas gun competition or anything, then I will go ahead and throw the electronic level on there just to get more of that instant feedback that I can see more easily out of my peripheral vision, just with those bright lights on the MDT Send It level. Also on the Mark V up top here, we've got the 100 Concepts Scope Cap Pros, and then the hex cap on the Acro. So scope caps on these, super awesome. So traditional scope caps I'm not a big fan of, just because they flip open and then they're kind of in the way, or you're gonna bend them too far and break the spring, and they're kind of cheap in my opinion. And what I like about the Scope Cap Pro is, well, the scope caps as well, is that when you flip it up, it sits flush out of the way. You can run it down below as well if you've got room. So it sits flush. It's just used by shock cord. That's how it's attached. So if the shock cord wears out, or you rip it or cut it, you can repair it super easily. It's not super cost prohibitive to repair it, right? Just a little bit of shock cord. Now, some people really don't like the anti-reflection device on the Scope Cap Pro, and that's totally fine. I have it on the hex cap and the Mark V, and really I'm not as worried about the anti-reflection, but I do like the protective properties that this offers, because the Mark V and the Acro, like, neither of those are cheap. So if I can protect the glass on those and protect the housing a little bit, like, why would I not do that? I have had a 100 Concepts save one of my Delta Point Pros when my rifle got bumped and tipped over and landed on the Delta Point Pro. I'm sure that housing probably would have withstood it, but it definitely would have been marred up pretty bad. But the hex cap on the Delta Point Pro saved that red dot and saved me some money. So why would I not have that on there? Again, I just like protecting the glass, protecting the optics, so that's why those are on there. Now moving forward, we have, again, Geissele stock rifle. This is a 16-inch build, so it comes with their, well, all of them come with the Mark 16 rail. So this is a 15-inch Mark 16 rail. And then on here, we've got the Reptilia QD socket for a QD. So typically running a 2-point sling mount, run from the rear, and then usually the second point is right up here. Now the QD socket from Reptilia there, good little QD mount. Now down below, this is super cool. It's actually an ARCA mount. So a lot of people have confused this rail for the other Geissele rail. I believe it's the Mark 18. Don't fact check me, I'll have to go double look. But that has the ARCA built in on the bottom. This one is actually not built in on bottom. This is an accessory from Annex Defense. So it is their ARCA XL. And now you can see the ARCA XL was actually built for the, I believe it was built for the 13.5 rail, the 13.5 Geissele Mark 16 rail, which, so I do have one empty M-lock slot there. Not a huge deal for me. I went ahead and I made it flush at the end just so I could run my bipod furthest forward. Just that's how I put the ARCA XL on there. Now you certainly could run that back and then you leave that space up at the open M-lock slot up at the beginning, but I chose to have it flush at the beginning. Attached to the ARCA rail from Annex Defense, we've got a Area 419 mount with a Atlas bipod from B&T. And then up top, we've got a Surefire, one of the Vampire lights, just so I can get that white light. I can also get that IR illuminator if I'm running a clip-on or nods or anything like that. Attached to the barrel, obviously the Geissele Super Duty Mod1 comes with But when I got this one, it came with the Huxworks muzzle device. So that was super nice because I already had a Hux. This is like one of the older generation Hux. It's right after they became Hux from OSS. It was the HX QD556. So that is the suppressor on here, and then it's wrapped with a Sucon Performance suppressor wrap on there. Good dudes. Actually, I'm gonna plug them real quick. So I was messaging with them over there one day, and I haven't posted pictures of this yet, but they had done a custom suppressor cover. They did one for a couple companies, and I saw them do some for tactical games. I sent him my logo over there, and check out what he made. Get that to focus in on there. So it's actually the Fall Summit Concepts logo on the multicam black suppressor cover. Super dope. Need to get this thing on a rifle. So shout out to the dudes over at Sucon. They're doing well with their suppressor covers. You can get them in all different colors and setups. The Coyote is what's on here. Also have a multicam Air that I've run on here as well. I got to back up real quick. So the height on the Summit mount, I've been running all the zero gravity mounts at 154. And the intention behind that is that if I'm running a clip-on, everything, all the clip-ons that I have used are at the 154 height. So that way I can just plug and play, throw the clip on here. I don't have to worry about getting a riser or raising something up or them being misaligned. At the 154 height, I can have everything be flush and use the clip on without any extra work. So I think that's everything on the rifle. Didn't miss anything. Last time I missed something and everybody was on me about it in the comments that I didn't tell them what. Oh, so this is, again, stock Super Duty Mod 1. The only thing that I would probably change on this setup, I know we talked about the illuminated reticle, I would get their heavy profile barrel just so I could shoot more competitions without the barrel getting, or shoot more without worrying about the barrel getting too hot and starting to affect the accuracy of the system. But I haven't had any issues. I've shot a few matches with this gun. I'm hoping to shoot a few more this year. There's some matches out at Twisted Barrel that I want to shoot, some gas gun matches, and this gun has performed way better than the shooter. So I have had no issues with the guns or with this firearm. But the ammo. So I posted a little while back on Instagram some of the groups and group sizes that this had done. I had shot 4 different Bone Frog variants, and I'll try and put pictures up right here if I can. But we had shot the tipped Match King. We shot the Match Burner. And then we also shot the Barnes TSX, the open tip. And then we shot the Barnes TSX tipped. Now, as you can see, all of these grouped well under an MOA. The velocities are on there as well, so you can check those out. So all of those shot super well. And I need to go back and look because I also shot for the last gas gun competition I shot with this. I shot Black Arc, their 262 Alpha ammo, and this thing was hammering. I want to say it was running like 2870. So that's for those 77 grains. I need to go back and look. I'll put the actual numbers here. I got to go back and look at my Kestrel. It was cooking compared to some of the other rounds. It might have been up in the 29s. But I'll go back and look. But yeah, this thing hammered with the Black Arc 262 Alphas, and definitely going to explore what that round does in some competitions this year out at Twisted Barrel. So that is the Geissele Super Duty Mod 1. And again, this like price for what you're getting in a Super Duty Mod 1, especially I bought the Blemula because the Blemula on this, there was no significant marks. It might have been like some toolings or a scuff. And then I think the biggest blem on this was that the anodes didn't match, which if you've seen the page and seen some of the rifles, well, not OCD like that. So the anodes not matching. I think it added to the look and actually made it look nicer. But out of the box stock rifle, it's one of the best stock rifles I've ever shot. And usually I don't buy stock rifles. I'll piece together, a lower and upper, or I'll piece together several parts or do a build on my own. A lot of times building the lowers and then maybe acquiring an upper and then building it out, or just a full complete build. But out of the box factory rifle, nicest rifle I own for sure. And just you get a lot of benefits that you would have upgraded had you bought a lesser rifle. And again, if you wait for one of their sales, their Blemula sales, like the cost that you can get these for is silly. So super good rifle. Very, very impressed with it and looking to see what it does this year in some gas gun competitions. Appreciate the support. If you go ahead and like and subscribe on the channel, that'd be awesome. Send it to your friends who like Geissele setups or SPR-ish type setups. Oh, last thing. So this rifle right here just landed on this t-shirt that I'm wearing. It's available on the website. Took a little bit because all the colors on this rifle, but had a guy do the artwork on it and he absolutely crushed it. So these shirts are available. Here's what they look like. So as you can see, this exact rifle on this shirt with the Fall Summit Concepts design, available now on fallsummitconcepts.com. A few different colorways on there. I think there's like 8 different colorways. Here's the front right here. Just says Fall Summit Concepts and the rifle on the back. If you like it, go check them out. A bunch of different colors on there. Appreciate y'all watching. I definitely owe y'all some more videos. I know people asked about the 6-arc SPR that we took hunting this year, also the 14.5 5.56 that we took on a youth weekend hunt. More videos coming, and man, appreciate the support. See y'all next time.